Okay, well this is the finished product. I ended up changing my mind about putting this third support on here. I decided that it was useful just because even though this isn't really holding a lot of weight, since the bag isn't going to hold all the dust, the screws had a little bit of wiggle room here because they were going through the existing bolt holes. So I leveled this thing off and put in a 2-inch spacer on the bottom to lift that up to the right height, and that just gives us a little bit more stability and also keeps the can from bumping into the bag, which probably wouldn't be a problem anyway. I got the top plate on there and cut that to around 8 inches or so, and slides in and out pretty nice. Did a test run with the Rockler Dust Right collapsible hose. I ran a nice dusty piece of Douglas fir 2x4 through there, planed it down to about 1/4 of an inch, and after planing that, that's what I have in the bag there. A few little chips that made it through. Not much. I think I can live with that. Let's take a look at the inside of the bag. I already loosened these screws to save some time. I'll make something a little better for that later. And then you just have to slide out the can. Super easy. And remove the lid to see what we got on the inside. Alright, so that's what I have in the can there from planing that 2x4. That's quite a bit of dust. That probably would have most of the way filled up the shop vac and the filter, so pretty happy with the way that turned out. And I believe that's it. All it needs now is a coat of finish and something to hold that hose in place. I guess I can do one more final update just to show a couple of the last minute touches I put on there. I have the hose hanging from this block I put on the side. It's just a couple of 2x4s that were screwed together and then screwed into the post, and then I have a little piece of maple I cut for the front just to hold it in place. This hose won't stay put by itself, so if you don't strap it on, it'll just flop over. So I had a few ratchet straps that were long enough I can cut a little bit of the nylon off the end, put a screw and a washer on one side, and then on the other side I just cut a little slot in there, kind of like a button. I just used I heated up a nail with a propane torch to make the cut so that it would not come completely unraveled or frayed. And I made the knobs for this piece. I just had some old rock maple sitting around with some powder post beetle holes in it, so I just cut that up and drilled a 1/2-inch hole in it, then epoxied in the bolts. So put those on the 4 corners to hold that plate in place, and wipe the whole thing down with a coat of just some polyurethane thin with mineral spirits, just for a quick sealant. Oh, and on the bottom here, I found that this guy is Rockler Quick Connect fitting, and it seems to fit perfectly inside a piece of, that's a coupling for Schedule 20 drainage pipe. Not like the good heavy-duty plumbing pipe. This is just for the exterior draining stuff. And I scribed it onto a little block of wood to space it off, and that sits in there. And that's it. Next upgrade will be to replace the filter, and if at some point I get the itch to do some more work on this, I will probably cut this bigger so that I have an actual 5-inch inlet, and that way I can put in that Y fitting off the original and get 2 hoses connected to this at the same time instead of 1, because reducing this from 5 inches to 4 inches is cutting down on some of the airflow. But for what I do with it, for the size of the shop, I think that's going to work out just fine. Thanks for watching.